Okay. Satish, they can hear you. Keep going.
I'm Satish. I'm Nandit. And we are the... And we're Team 6700. And so basically, just like you, we used to do FLL. And so we ended up graduating to FTC. And I mean, FTC is a really cool experience. I mean, as you can see, I mean, we basically do, like, we build a robot, and then we play a game in which we use a robot, and we also have a presentation and stuff.
So the difference between FLL and FTC is FTC doesn't have a project, so there's no like research component of FTC. What typical FLL robot. That's because we use Tetris pieces, and so we get an entirely different kit, and we use these pieces to make the robot you see here.
Another thing is we don't use the drag and drop function that you guys use for programming. We use robot C for programming that Satish can talk about.
Yeah, so one of the things we do is that in NXT you've got, like Trey said, you've got a drag and drop interface, which is fairly simple, and it does get more complicated. But in Robot C, it's a real-world programming language. It's something that professionals use. Well, the language is something professionals use to type. They type in actual commands. You use conditions. So it's closer to the real world programming, and we think that's interesting because it gives us a lot more potential to do more things.
Another difference is that we have an engineering notebook where you write down everything you've done in the season, the community outreach, basically what you do at meetings, everything. And for the robotic aspect, instead of having an autonomous run, it's something called teleoperated. So that's where we have joysticks, 2 joysticks, one for a driver and one for controlling the arm. And instead of your own team going against the missions, your team and another team, which is called an alliance, and your 2 teams wins in those 2 groups, they get something called qualifying points. So it's like 2.
So, do you guys have any questions? Yeah? So,
Can remind people to
yeah, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite part about FTC was the programming. So my favorite part about FTC was like really just controlling the robot, because then you don't have to depend on the program because you have the control to do everything if your program is right.
My favorite part of FTC is pretty much the engineering process, because it's something that all people have to deal with, and so it's very useful to learn at this stage in your life. And yeah.
My favorite part is probably the building, because it's interesting to see how it's different from NXT and FLL. So yeah. I really like building also because it's fun to use metal pieces. This year I like working with the varieties of the different arm designs. So as you can see,